You've got some epically long songs. I mean, the Odyssey is the obvious one. How do you end up with something that long, or is it just sort of a long song just for the sake of having a long song?
Well, the long song is dictated by the length of the poem or whatever it is that's created for it. I mean, you could have taken Paradise Lost and made a long song out of it. We just stretched it out and made a record. The Odyssey is one particular, it's one part of the Iliad from Homer. So we felt that, you have such a grand topic, you have a grand idea, a lot of movements and parts and story elements that work into the track. So it gets stretched out. It's like a mini movie, So that's why we did it. We definitely have. I think Romeo's more gifted. He's a very gifted arranger when it comes to the longer material. I think that's his strength. The shorter stuff is really not what he's about, and it's not what really Symphony X is about. I don't think Symphony X has ever written a 3-minute song other than maybe Out of the Ashes, which is on Divine Wings of Tragedy. I think it's like 3:10 or 3:15. It's only one ever, and that was back in the day when we were doing all the neoclassical Baroque stuff, and we still have those elements in the band, but that was just going for it, totally like smoke and mirrors or this kind of thing. But we're just not the single kind of hit single kind of group. I mean, Symphony X will never be that. Unless something changes drastically culturally, where 5-6 minute songs become the standard, but I don't see that happening anytime soon. So yeah, we don't do it by choice. It's just I think we do it because this is what we have to work with. We're not. I wouldn't want to pigeonhole us and say we couldn't do the shorter songs, but it's just not a strength of the band. It's not really what we're good at. It's definitely not what we're famous for. So we're just kind of gonna do what we do, and hopefully, and we seem to be doing okay.
So, how are the plans for this DVD? I suppose you'll have to record a new show with some new songs now.
Yeah, we've been talking about that, DVD. The thing with Symphony X, I think the coolest thing would be to try and get the band in a venue and on a stage that has the right environment. It's a tough thing because you could put this band in more of a rock setting or a heavy metal sort of just raw kind of setting that we're used to, being you guys in America and Britain and stuff. But I think the other thing too, you could put this band in front of an orchestra, and have that kind of a thing too, because we have so much depth in the symphonic aspects. We could do a full show with a full symphony orchestra behind the band, which is of course very, very expensive, and the production value would be killer and everything. But so that's where we are right now. We're trying to figure out what the best balance of it is, and see if. I just figured we just go for broke and put the orchestra on the stage and play in a nice theater somewhere, maybe in New York City or I don't know, somewhere, and then tape it there. Because to me it's been so long in the coming of it to put out some club video, club DVDs of a club show. It's like why we might as well shoot some of the arena shows we do down in South America, or the little arenas we do, or something like that. If that's the way we're going to go, so this is what's on the drawing board now for later in the year. Talk at least on this album cycle to see what we're going to do and talk about how we're going to handle that, because that's something a lot of people want to hear and see, and it's definitely something the band is very aware of that has to happen and take place and be cool and all that kind of stuff. So we're working on it. We say that every time.
So why do they call you Sir?
Well, I was a knight in a stunt show in the United States. It's owned by Spanish entrepreneurs. It's called Medieval Times, and it's actually it's like an enclosed mini arena, holds about 1,500 people, and it's a daily, you eat with your hands, this whole medieval thing. So I can actually joust on a horse and stuff, and well, at least back then I could. I haven't done it for quite a while, but piercing a ring about this big, with a lance and the whole nine, and I could flick a fly off your ear with a sword, and I was very well trained in all the medieval combat for stage and screen, and also some of the real stuff too. We were studying and things like this. So like that's where it came from, because I was doing all that work. I was on television. I did different types of shows and movies and things like this. When Arian Lucasen got word of that, he just was so tickled by it. He started calling me Sir Russell Allen in the credits. I'm like, what? So that was it. So he started. It's all his fault. I'm not really a knighted, but I've probably done more knightly things than those people who really carry the title. So
You wasn't part of that Cable Guy with Jim Carrey, were you?
My buddies were. That was shot out in Los Angeles, and I'd already left for New York a year earlier, so I wasn't in the movie. They had all my buddies were, though. Guys that I trained with and guys that I trained actually were in that film and stuff. But no, I didn't do that one. I wasn't in that one, unfortunately.
Okay, well, I hope you don't mind me asking a couple of things about some other things you're involved with.
Sure.
What do you think the chances are of another Star One tour?
Well, it's really up to Arian. I haven't spoken with him much. He didn't come out to see me on this run because he's working on a new solo album, I think. That's what I've been kind of hearing through the grapevine. And, he's all about recording and making music. He's not really about touring. It's not something that he enjoys, from what I gather. And, he loves to play, but just the rigors of touring, it's hard. He's a big guy. There's, they just don't make buses for people like him and me too. I barely fit I don't fit in them, actually. I have to sleep like this every night. So I'm feeling it now. 5 weeks in, I'm hurting, So I understand how he feels, and it's just an uncomfortable life, for a big guy, for big guys like us. Yeah. So I know that's a deterrent and stuff, but I think he'd do it if it was right, and if it was the runs were close and they were all kind of not too far and stuff like that, and I think it would be great. I'd love to do it, but that's his baby, and he'd have to let me know what he wanted to do. So. Mm-hmm.
And apparently you're supposed to be working with Mike Portnoy from Dream Theater.
This could be him now, actually, calling me. Wait.
Let's find out.
Nope. Anyway.
So what, is this going to be a serious band, or is it just going to be a side project? I can't really give too much away at the moment. I mean, but yeah, it's a pretty serious thing. But it's not a progressive thing. It's a straight up rock band with just rock songs, kind of like an edgy, modern kind of a sound. It's just a modern rock. It's not like progressive or trying to be too metal or anything. It's just good old fucking crunchy rock stuff. Mm-hmm. I think it'll be really well received by people who like to hear that kind of stuff. This is a new thing for Portnoy. And myself too. But I've always kind of done rock stuff with Arian, and that's more of a vintagey vibe, but nothing like this, which is kind of modern sounding. More of like a, I couldn't tell you what it's kind of almost like a Rob Zombie meets fucking Black Label Society meets Disturbed meets it's all this kind of craziness, so it's just totally something that's with like Dio singing, so like it's definitely different and it's cool, but at this point we're just getting the work done, and getting the songs done. He's rapped with the drums. I think Paul is doing the bass. We're probably going to keep most of my pre-production vocals that I recorded at my studio with Mike Orlando, because the takes are just they're fun, they're great, and Portnoy is just so talented and amazing. He just came in and played right to what I sang to, and that's just unheard of. I mostly the drummer has to go first and he lays down whatever, and you got to go back and you got to redo stuff. But with him, he can actually do. He can actually just play, I mean, I know there's drummers out there that can do that kind of stuff too, but I was just in awe of watching him do on the drums what I do on the microphone. Just get up there and do it, and and be like a machine. That's just unbelievable, It's like, wow, it's amazing, So yeah, it's pretty serious thing. I mean, it's obviously he's a project for the two of us right now. He's a busy guy. I'm a busy guy, but we really want to do something with this, and we're just gonna ride it and see what happens,
Will you ever go on tour with Jorn Lander, or is that just a studio thing?
I don't know. I would. We've tried to do a show or two, but it's never really come together. He's a busy guy too. So I mean, I'm open to the idea. I haven't talked to Magnus about it. I think if I really started to really, push the buttons and say I wanted to do it, I guess maybe it would start to take shape. I've got so much going on right now, though, with this thing with Mike that you just mentioned, and I've got a solo album with the guitar player that I'm doing, the same guy that's doing this band with me and Mike Portnoy. That I'm trying to wrap that up on the next break to come out maybe in the fall or something like that. So and so so basically. I don't know. I haven't really thought about it. I'm talking about maybe coming back here to do this a show in the fall, this heavy metal symphony thing that I did in Holland a couple Christmases ago. It was like a Christmas show, and it was in Holland with me and Chuck Billy and Doro Pesh and a bunch of with a full little orchestra behind you. So it was like, wow. It's like, so I did Symphony X songs with an orchestra. It was really really fascinating. Kind of got me thinking about having that sort of thing for Symphony X. So that's the only thing I got kind of cooking right now that I'm thinking about doing. But I think a tour with Jorn would be awesome. I know there's a lot of people that like that stuff, and we've got 3 albums now, so it would probably be a pretty damn good run. I mean, just to do the two singer thing. I'd love to guinea pig it though on something like I don't know, the 70,000 tons of metal, or like they just went down. I talked to everybody who was on. They said it was a great time. It was really cool, and a lot of bands and stuff. And the pressure's kind of off us to be like to carry everything. We could maybe do that and see what the response of everybody is, and then say like, okay, this thing's got a life. Let's try and book a whole deal behind it. So I got to see what he's up to though. I don't know what Jorn's up to. I haven't really looked up what he's up to lately. I mean, he could be. For all I know, he could be in another new band, or I don't know. You probably know more than me. So,
well, my guess is as good as yours. I think there's a new Master Plans album on the way.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for your time. Do you have any last words for the people watching?
Just that, hey man, I'm so happy to be here in England. It's awesome. I wish we'd come here more often in the past, but we're here now. So come check it out. Come check out the new album, Iconoclast, out in June. And we will be back in the fall for sure, playing all over the place. See ya.